Lanterns discussion stream. It'd be nice to see many of you in here today. And firstly, of course, if you're joining us from Fellowship of Fans as well, we are cross streaming on Turf Podcast. So please make sure to check out our channel, which is everything else about fantasy, sci-fi, superheroes, etc., etc. So it'll be really exciting to see you guys there. And of course, we're a small channel, so there'll only be we'll hopefully try and build a community like this, which I think is the best possible way. And someone who's leading this and doing an amazing job so far, we have Strider. Hello, my friend.
Hey, great to be here. Happy that we're doing a first stream on Fofcast, like a first one, I guess, that we are kind of organizing. So,
Yes.
and great that it's this topic. Very excited.
And I'm sure someone who is very excited that it is this topic is Barkin, aka Green Lanterns himself. He's got a whole separate channel pages. He's doing all the best coverage on it, so make sure to check that out as well. Hello.
Hey guys, excited to be here and chat the first two episode of Lanterns, which in my opinion has been two amazing episodes of television so far. And I think the fun thing for me about these chats is unlike Lord of the Rings, where I'm less of like a lore expert on what's going on and more of a vibes guy, the roles get reversed here, and you guys know less of the comics about Green Lantern and the ongoings, and I get to talk to you guys and see like what are your perspectives on the show, what's hitting for you guys, and what's not working.
For sure. And we are definitely going to be going into that in this stream. And I think firstly, starting off, I think let's go, why don't we just go all the way back to the beginning, which is, of course, flashback, the starting scene where we get to see a bit of his backstory. So, of course, I don't know. I know Vaki might kill me for this as much about Green Lanterns, but this was, introduction to is Hal Jordan and is it Carl Chandler, correct?
Kyle Chandler plays Hal Jordan, which would be for those who are new to
Oh,
Green Lantern, that'd be the white one. And then you
mhm.
have Aaron Pierre, who plays John Stewart. That will be your black one. And this is John's past with his father and that whole upbringing, military background style stuff.
And I think we really got to see that military background when what was it? He almost shot the apple on top of his head. What was your first reaction to that? Quite an extreme and quite cool, way to introduce a
Yeah,
character and his backstory.
that was a very metal origin story to start to open the show with. Um, I actually do have. I'll comment on this, and actually, I do have a question about working, or well, two working about Green Lanterns. So yeah, it was a very interesting start that tells you a lot about this guy and like what he went through as a kid. And I mean, I didn't expect that, and I do like how they already this show so far has so much rewarding character and world building because of all these like different timelines and so on, or like different points in time. So seeing him, John, as a kid now, and then seeing Hal as like on TV revealing who he is and so on, and talking about and being like younger version and like this very tough figure in the in that period in time. And then actually, I do have a question for Walking. So they say, I think more in the first episode, that his father was kind of preparing himself to be preparing John to be a Green Lantern. So, like, what was this part of shooting the apple off of his head? Actually, like, really this, and like, why this? Like, I feel like I'm kind of missing like a point where why did his father think that he can just pick his random kid, one kid on planet Earth, to be a Green Lantern by shooting apple of his like? Why did he think that? Oh yeah, this is gonna be the thing that makes my son be chosen to be Green Lantern because like there's so many people on the planet. So like, is this was this the point of this, or like, or did I miss out on something?
No, you are asking the questions I think people should be asking. I think the cop out answer and the fun thing to say is we're covering episodes 1 and 2. 2 just came out. 3 is going to drop here soon, and I think you're going to get the full explanation for all of this in the very next episode, which is very exciting. to answer some of that I can't answer without like going into spoilers for future stuff. The backstory of
Go
Green
ahead.
Lantern in general is typically, it's not that somebody is fearless. It's that somebody displays the power to overcome great fear. And I think what he's doing for John here, if you look at the shot where John first walks up to the shed and he puts the apple on his head, there's many bullet holes in the shed already, which means he's been
Yeah.
shooting these off of John's head for some time. And maybe at the start of the shooting, John has to be talked through it and coached through it and keep your head straight and I'm not going to miss. Trust me, don't fear this. And he probably has fear to start, but then he does it so much over time that John overcomes that fear and learns that like he can trust his dad, that his dad's not going to shoot him in the head.
Okay.
Typically, the origin story for a Green Lantern is a Green Lantern dies, and when that Green Lantern dies, the ring leaves their body and seeks out the next closest person who has displayed the ability to overcome great fear. Typically, you can't just train your way into the Green Lantern Corps. It's just something that happens by the ring choosing you, which in this episode they talk about a couple times. In this case where John's being trained, they say it's the Guardians who chose John to become a Green Lantern at some point, and the Guardians are the folks who make the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, they're the big shots.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I think
Thank you.
no, I think that's the same for me, Strider. That was an interesting question, and that was I thought of. And moving further on, I think episode one, first of all, very strong episode for me. I think Val can
Oh, yeah.
probably share a bit more, but the ratings, the numbers was a 9.3 million, like second biggest or first biggest HBO DC show or something along that. Beat Peacemaker, very very strong.
So just to give a quick rundown of numbers, very quick, 9.3 million for the opening episode is the strongest ratings in terms of viewership for any season 1, episode 1 of any superhero show on streaming, period.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's insane.
I think a lot of that is that to these two in front of on your screens right now as well, Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. And I think episode one in general, again, really good episode. I think we'll talk for a couple of minutes about this episode. I think the big thing about this is we see the establishment of Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart's relationship. Strider, as someone who's not, same as me coming into this for the first time, what do you think of the relationship in episode one? And we kind of see their dynamics in, I guess, not say their friendship, more their partnership, as as how that develops throughout the episode. What can you take from that?
Yeah, I know a bit of like lore from over the years that I picked up from like watching like animated stuff from DC and so on. So like that's mainly where my knowledge comes from. And I did read the huge Injustice arc, and at some point there's a huge storyline with the Green Lanterns there. So I do know like some of these things, and I kind of know.
So I've done you a disservice there. You're much better than me then. Go on.
Well, but still, like there's like a huge scale to this. So it's like you and I are still extremely close compared to like Walking and like the others who are like proper fans of like really into the lore. So I did kind of have a vague image of what to expect, but I knew obviously this was going to be like a unique take in a way. And I love the chemistry of the actors so much. I think they're both absolutely killing it with what their characters are meant to be, depending on which point in the timeline we are. I think they're just so good, and I think especially Kyle Chandler so far has the guy who plays Hal has a tougher task so far because he's the one that kind of had to portray, I guess, like a few like more grown up versions of his character. So we had to see him as the super young guy in that interview from the pilot of from the opening of the episode. Then we also see him as the hologram, which is like from, Mark can correct me, but I think like 2006 or something like that. And then 2016, yeah, and then 20. So it's like I feel like he did an amazing job so far, and obviously Aaron Pierre has also been amazing. So I just love it. Like the relationship so far is good, but I guess it's not yet that they are partners. and I wonder if they. I mean, I guess at some point they'll kind of develop some kind of partnership relationship, but at the moment it's a very hostile hostile environment between the two of them. But what do you think?
I think hostile is a very good word to describe it. And I think, as I'll let Varking speak before we move on, but I think it links into my next point about the interrogation. But Varking, yeah, what's your thoughts? And I guess maybe from more fandom perspective, how they've been, seen so far, and how the fandom are looking at these two as as of course Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart.
So one bit I do love that Strider brought up the hologram, the hologram from 10 years prior, the last time that Hal was backed up by the ring. And if you just look at that, the hologram interaction with John is much nicer, much friendlier. He's more upbeat.
Yeah.
Whereas in that timeline, the current day Hal seems much more jaded. So you have to wonder, in that 10-year period, that 10-year time gap, what happened to Hal that has turned him into this? That also made the Guardians go, we might need to replace him soon. And an interesting thing about both their backgrounds of how they're being chosen, Hal was chosen like the other Green Lanterns were. It was somebody died and the ring came to him and chose him. And that's like a huge badge of honor that the ring just chooses you and it doesn't make mistakes. John, on the flip side, is chosen by the Guardians to eventually get a ring. So, like, John views it as the people who made this chose me. That's a higher honor than just getting a ring. Where Hal sees it like you're cutting the line. You're not doing all the things or having to have passed the same test that we did in order to just get it. And so that plays into the relationship. It's a bit strange. So being bringing somebody new, and sometimes you don't know that they're your replacement. And in this case, Hal knows John will eventually be his replacement based on the current arrangement that they have going on. So like that back and forth between the two of them, I think does carry the show through the first 2 episodes. And obviously I'm loving every bit of it. I think the two of them on screen is excellent. It's money. I can't get enough of it. I'm very happy that the show is a weekly drop, but like hardcore in me is like, man, I wish Netflix had this so I just had it all at once.
Yeah, I think we'll be very excited to see the next episode as well, episode 3. And yeah, I think to culminate episode 1, the big point was, I think the easiest way to say it is, do we trust these aliens or not? Because then in episode 2, unless I'm mistaken, they do capture Hal Jordan, and then that all happens. They have to try, and so he's been sent on like this, essentially a mission. And I find it very interesting as we go back to this interview scene. What are we thinking about these aliens? We don't know much. I guess, of course, Vaki know a lot more. But as in of 2 episodes, what are they doing on Earth? We know we got the introduction about the Manhunters. Which one is it?
Manhunters. Yeah.
5.
Manhunters.
And I think, yeah, overall, because again, could either of you two shed your thoughts on about this whole alien Manhunters dynamic, which I think has encapsulated the first 2 episodes and what we do know so far, before we get on to what's going on at that farm?
Varking, do you want to go first?
I can go first if you. I think that the team is cool because you're not 100% sure when they're after him. Is he an alien? Is he not? And then their interrogation between Hal and Waylon. The writers do a good job.
I think we were having some audio issues there with Varking, so we'll hope for him.
Okay, I thought it was me actually.
Yeah, maybe he's like a hologram that's getting they can bump. No, so I guess now it's just us two. I think, yes.
Yeah.
The man. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think they did a fantastic job so far of building up the mystery. Like there are so many missing pieces, and we are like kind of like on the outside of the whole thing. We're kind of like getting closer. We will be getting closer as the season goes to the actual core of whatever is going on here. But I feel like they really gave us a couple of drops from, like, if you imagine, if we imagine it as like a circle or like a ring, pun not intended, to kind, and then the solution is in the middle. We kind of got like a few different points, I feel like, from different sides, and we're kind of like getting closer. But it's like, how do these pieces fit together? Because you have that unfortunate man who's the father-in-law of the sheriff. Then there are these aliens here, but then there are those guys who kidnapped John in the second episode. There's this whole Manhunter thing now, so it's just a lot of really cool little things that we don't know yet how they fit together. And I think they just did a really, really cool job on just giving us a lot of cool stuff there. So the one thing I'm curious about, and I feel like this might be a part of the twist, but I feel like the story that they're setting up, I feel like it will be like much bigger than this. But I feel like a part of this might be that these aliens might not be, that they might end up being very relatable. I feel like
Yes.
something bad was done to them here, and that they are trying to free some of their people, or that they are trying to, yeah, Marking. So just this is my theory so far, and Harry seems to agree. So basically, it seems like we think that the aliens who were like the guy that was being interrogated, and then like from this picture, that these guys might actually end up being very relatable in some way, and that maybe that rich benefactor of that Mason dude or whatever, that they did some bad stuff to some aliens here, that they might be trying to set some of themselves free or something like this. So that's kind of like my main theory, and I think Harry seems to agree.
Yeah.
I think right now, and sorry about that, my connection dropped where I was parking. I think right now that is what you were supposed to think. That the Makins obviously
Yeah.
want aliens around, but and the Makins have some way of identifying who is not alien. And I think, it's kind of like any world thing. Sometimes you think maybe this group is the right group, and then other times you think maybe this group is the right group, where he says that they're seeking vengeance. Well, what are they seeking vengeance for? What happened to them that they're seeking out this vengeance? Something the Makins are doing. Obviously, he knows a lot bit about the Manhunters, but then there has to be some sort of involvement from the Makins and the Manhunters that makes Anton and his team, Sanders, think that they have something to do with it, that they kind of want to extract for some reason.
I think
Yeah.
the main point from that is, it's what they expect us to think, because we are only 2 episodes in, and now we've got this all the
That's a
time
fair
is
point.
to speculate. And I think Barker, sorry, we only caught some of that, but I think that's what you were trying to say. And I think Strider, something you mentioned, who is the owner of that farm? And of course, we know the sheriff. I really like the sheriff's character so far. One of the best characters in the show. There haven't been many characters in the show, but she is one of the best ones. And her, I guess it's father-in-law, is apparently under NDA for the owner for that farm.
That's the best part.
Yeah. And there's not really much I think we can speculate on who it is, because again, we've only seen 2 episodes. But do we think that is the Manhunter is going to be the owner of that farm? And whilst the owner, they're going to bump into him maybe like episode 3, 4, 5, or 6 and not know it's him, but he's in that and meant to be a really nice guy. Then in actual fact, the Manhunter is the person they were friends with all along. That is my prediction and my theory on what I think will happen. So it'll be someone we don't expect, because it's meant to be a detective mystery show. And then it ends up being someone they meet along down the line, and then that ends up being the owner of the farm, who also has this crazy alien tech. I did say out of everywhere he's been in the universe, somehow the tech there was really intricate, which is really interesting that random farm does have that advanced tech out of the whole universe. But yeah, that is my theory. That it'll just be a regular person that they'll meet,
Yeah,
pass by, then he will end up being Shock in episode 7, episode 8.
yeah.
He's the Manhunter, and he's the one giving everyone NDAs. Got a lot of cowboys on the farm, and it's really interesting by the whole invader like colonial aspect that they're using as to why they want to protect the farm, which is an interesting angle. But I guess in a way, in a twisted way, you can maybe see the logic, even though it is interesting
Oh yeah, for
logic.
sure.
But yeah, that's my
Yeah.
theory. What are you guys' thoughts?
Actually, I have a theory that just made me like. So I agree completely that Manhunter is going to end up being somebody in the show that we have been seeing and so on. And actually, this made me think about. Varking, maybe you don't want to react to this, or maybe you can do a bluff comment. I just thought like it could be the Macon or Mason, his wife, because in this episode, she said to John, "Oh yeah, I have to be with him because nobody can give me what he can give me." And again, it's just going out on a limb, but that's a very specific line, and I think it would be interesting because it could be that this guy has access because again, there's this powerful, mysterious benefactor behind all of this whole thing that's funding all of this. Yeah, this lady, and through the husband, she could, or he, I don't know who if this is the Manhunter, could get access to whatever weird high top level secret stuff might be happening. That's just a working theory from like 3 minutes ago. Varking, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think that's a good and fun theory. I would like to point the finger at Sheriff Carey as potentially being a manhunter because she's been the shadiest person on the whole show. She wants Hal gone in the worst way. She wants things to go back to normal, the status quo. When you think about episode 2, they had the big town hall meeting. Hal leaves that meeting to go steal some alien bodies. When she's done with the meeting, she knows exactly where he is and is able to stop and, you know, pull him over and talk to him and try to figure out what's going on. And then they get to the hospital, or they get to Macon's ranch first. He gets shot. They take him to the hospital to heal up, and she tells him as soon as he wakes up that he's cleared to go. That's not how hospitals
Yeah.
work. Usually a doctor has to come in and check in on you, and then they go, okay, you seem like you got it together. You can leave now. On top of that, Hal even asks, where is everybody? And then when he goes to sign out, there's no other names on the sign out sheet at the hospital. And then all
Oh,
the
yeah, I was
equipment
gonna
that's
say,
at
yeah.
the hospital looks like it just got unboxed and put on the floor like nobody's been using it at all. So there's just so much going on with that character that comes across as a little bit shady right now. My finger is being pointed at Sheriff Carey, but Zoe makes a lot of sense too. The baby's
And
here, so I'm going to switch out real quick.
All right.
And I think the biggest thing about Sheriff Curry is that she said, "I'm on my own side." She did say that in the hospital as well. Maybe
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
that could be a clue. And also, it reminds me
Yes.
now of this image here. Like maybe it's like one of the images you look back on. It's from episode 1, but look, she's with the alien. Like here are all the 3 main characters. So you got an alien there. You've got what's his name?
Hal Jordan. Yeah.
Hal Jordan there, and then of course you got the actual Manhunter leaning in from the window. So it's like almost a poetic, image right here. That's what I actually
Yeah,
quite
looking
really
from
like
the outside, it
this
is.
image
It
now.
is a cool shot. The thing with this line, you're right. I didn't pick up on it because when she said I'm on my side, I just went into quoting Treebeard side. I'm on nobody's side, little orc, because nobody's on my side. So I didn't even think about it actually because
Yeah.
my brain just went to a Treebeard quote. Um, I mean, yeah, for sure. I think there's definitely a mystery here as well, and this is what I mean. What I said earlier, like they gave us already so many really cool little breadcrumbs or like pieces of puzzle, but they're like nowhere near each other. Like we have no idea where they fit yet. So it's just enough to give us like, oh, where does this piece fit? What is this like? Do I turn it like this? Do I turn it like this? And just so many cool little things, but yet like at the moment we obviously cannot guess anything because it's just like you can guess, but like there's nowhere enough to actually make a clear picture of what's going on here. But I cannot wait because I feel like they have set up a multi-layered mystery, and I'm just like, this legit might be like the show I was looking forward to the most this year, due to in no small part to our buddy working over here, who has been continually hyping us up over the years. But for real, like to have like a prime time mystery slot but with superheroes,
Yes.
that's like one of the most specific niches you can hit me in. I'm just so excited for this.
No, I agree because detective shows are my favorite genre to watch for television. So, who done it? So, not like the
Yeah.
more whimsical ones, like the more psychological in ones. So, yeah, again, it hits the nail on the head. And I think, yeah, as we wrap up our episode 1 and 2 breakdown, I think, yeah, I think we've gone 2 quite good theories. I think, of course, we have Sheriff Carey, as you can see on screen right now. And then we also have the mother as well. Which one of them will it be? Or it could be someone we've totally
Or it
not
could be
guessed
someone
so
else.
far. But but I'm guessing it has to be someone in these first 2 episodes because it builds up to it maybe in a better way from the start. But yep, as we are rounding out, Strider, your overall thoughts on the first 2 episodes. Hit it to me. Or hit me
Well,
with it.
first,
Hit me.
firstly, I just want to say I didn't plan on it, but actually I'm wearing a green shirt, and I'm just very happy that this happened specifically today.
Nice.
I'll have to make it a thing for the next couple of weeks. And I did dig up a certain ring that I have from a while that does have a green stone on it. So just to keep it, with the vibes. I mean, I'm having a great time. I love the actors. The chemistry is great. One thing, I'm not by any means a scholar of cinema, but I feel like over the years I have started to try to pay attention to how people do things, like how they build the scene, how they build the atmosphere, and how they tell you things about the character when there isn't like talking happening. And one of the things I really like, and this tends to be like one of the first things that I subconsciously look for and then consciously register when I do see it, when they are not afraid to take a long time between people speaking. So you can have like a whole minute or like 2 or almost like close to 2 minutes of people just wandering around, like flying or doing something, or like not talking, which is one of the things that, especially in like the last 10-15 years, is just something that kind of keeps happening more and more, like like this whole second screen type of media that they're doing. But this show straight up doesn't do that, like right from the first start, right from the first moment. And like when John is coming into this city in a car, he's just like, I don't think there's even radio playing, he's just driving around and we are seeing the things that he's pointing his attention to. So with all of these things, I just really love the atmosphere of the first two episodes so far, and the chemistry of characters and the mystery. I'm just in, like, I'm in and locked in for the ride. Like, I just love it so much. Maybe we can jump to Working, and then Harry, you want to close us off?
Yep.
Harry, you
if
can go
he's not
first, and
here,
then I'll go.
then I'll go for it. Okay. Do you want me to go? Cool.
Yeah, you first.
So, very
Age,
excited.
age before
Cool,
beauty,
thank you,
something like
thank
that. Younger guy first.
I thought you about to say ladies first. Okay. But I think overall, very excited for the first 2 episodes. Again, as Strider said, it's hitting that niche of detective and superhero, which is really cool. And I'm very intrigued to see who the Manhunter is. This stream alone has got me a bit of hype now, as we had those 2 theories there. None, which I have to say, I wasn't really too like thinking about it yet, but I'm very excited now to see who it is. The acting's been great. Their partnership and their chemistry is great. I think the Sheriff Carey is great as well, and I'm very, very excited to watch episode 3.
For me, this is obviously the greatest thing on TV out right now. The fact that I have gone 15 years in between Green Lantern 2011 movie with Ryan Reynolds, getting absolutely dogpiled by the internet for being bad. 15 years later, I finally have a live action Green Lantern adaptation again, and through 2 episodes, it's exceeded all of my expectations so far. Obviously, Aaron Pierre, Kyle Chandler are the highlights of the show. Kyle Chandler just won TV Performer of the Week last week. The show's putting out bonkers numbers. It's getting great reviews. It's fun to be able to talk to folks in chat about it. I think you guys are on a good path for figuring out who the Manhunter is. And I'm excited to see maybe some more of you guys' thoughts on John's dad, and John's mom after you get to watch episode 3.
Oh,
Ooh, interesting.
yeah,
And yeah, I think
yeah.
that's a perfect place to leave it off. We'll have to see. Thank you for that little clue, Varking. And of course, we
Oh
have a new review out.
Well, let me sneak in one more thing.
Please.
Hal Jordan's password for John to be able to reach into his like locker, to reach into a pocket dimension to find the lantern. He says out loud, "Mogo does not socialize." I just want people to know who aren't privy. Mogo is an actual planet that is a Green Lantern. Not the
That's
Green
what I
Lantern
thought.
planet that they all go to, like Oa, where they hang out. He's a full-on planet.
Yeah.
And I believe this won't be the only time Mogo is brought up in the show.
Another
Oh,
Easter.
we forgot. Sorry, we also forgot to talk about the final thing. Actually, Hal puts on the suit, flies out to space. Actually, I wasn't sure where. Harry, do we have a couple minutes? 2 minutes?
Yep, go for it.
Marking, actually, maybe you can tell us, because I wasn't completely sure where he flew off to. So he did kind of flew off to what seems to be jail, and he went to see Sinestro, and he asked him like, "Hey, what's up with Manhunters?" And then the Sinestro answers like, "What's up with John Stewart?" And that's kind of where it leaves off. So yeah, like I guess that was a Green Lantern jail or some kind, like, but it seemed like very close because he was very quickly there, or is this like somewhere near Earth? Like, what's going on there?
I believe, and it's not been confirmed in the show yet, but I believe Hal headed to not Oa itself, where the Guardians and the Green Lanterns hang out, but a planet nearby that they house what is called the Science Cells. And the Science Cells are like an intergalactic jail where the Guardians and the Lanterns keep like the baddest of the baddies. And Hal, yes, he suits up for the first time. He meets up with Sinestro, and for those that don't know, Sinestro is like Hal Jordan's, like if Hal Jordan was Batman, Sinestro is his Joker. He is the main villain for that character. He is one of the coolest villains in all of DC period, and I cannot wait for more people to learn Sinestro's kind of story and to see how he got from where he was to where he is, going from Hal Jordan's mentor and being the greatest Green Lantern of his time to becoming a rogue Green Lantern and no longer in the Green Lantern Corps at all. It's going to be a tremendous watch, and hopefully the show kind of digs into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a great way to finish that. I'm really excited about this.
Same.
And I love the look. I think they kind of hit like a perfect little spot between like alien and like obviously the actor is human. So I feel like that was a pretty good way to. I guess like they went just for like practical stuff rather than any kind of CGI, which is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
And the jail looked cool, and that whole flight scene was amazing.
Yeah. And we're interested to see these different worlds and planets in the next episodes as well. So yeah, I'm very excited. And of course, we have the screening room where you can see Barliman's reviews. Make sure to check those out. And thank you, I think it's both of you, Strider and Varking, for helping with the website. We can make it look even better now. So yeah, very, very thank you. Big thank yous to you both. And then yeah, it's a good way to leave off. Make sure to subscribe and like the video for Fofcast, our Fellowship of Fandoms channel. And yes, we'll see you very soon. Thank you, Strider, and thank you, Varking.
Thank you for hosting us, my guy.
Now with you guys,
Thank you.
I can't wait to see how everybody reacts to the next episode.
Oh, I think episode 3, the one thing you can take away from this stream, episode 3 is looking like it's going to be quite good. All right,
And
then.
Harry and I
Thank you,
will be
guys.
watching it together. So until next week, then we'll tune in
Oh,
together
yes.
probably.
Let's go. So